If there's one thing you should know about Classroom the Elite is the fact that you should expect the unexpected. Classroom the Elite is really good at making things unpredictable. You don't know where the story is going to go. You don't know what's going to happen next. And I think that's what I really enjoyed about Classroom the Elite. Just how unpredictable it is. And there's always moments, especially throughout the entire series, that there's been some shocking moments that left me by surprise. Whether it was big revelations, unexpected events that happened just out of nowhere, or just simply interaction between characters that really just left me by surprise. And I couldn't wait to see what's to come next. So today in this video, I want to talk about the top 5 most shocking moments that happened in Classroom the Elite. Year 1. I'm only going to be talking about moments that happened in year 1, not year 2. Maybe in the future I will make a video talking about year 2 and the shocking moments that happened in year 2, but for now I'm going to be talking about simply just what happened in year 1 of Classroom the Elite. Okay, so coming in number 5, we have Kushida's true personality. This happened in episode 3 of Classroom the Elite season 1, but this happened in volume 1, pretty much the first volume of Classroom the Elite. So Kushida's true personality was something that I was not expecting, considering the fact of just how Kushida as a character was before this revelation. Kushida was always seen as this nice girl who talked to anybody no matter what. She didn't seem like somebody that really started any trouble. She didn't seem like someone who really was a bad person. That was until when Anakoji found out who she actually was, when she secretly was, all alone, and that's when she revealed her true personality and how she actually felt about, people like Horikita and stuff like that. And that's when we found out as the readers or the viewers that Kushida is a two-faced person, meaning she hides behind a nice persona, meaning that she acts all nice, she pretends to be this nice person who will never do anything terrible to people, but in the inside, all she cares about is herself, and really she just hides how she truly feels and how she truly feels about others. But if this wasn't shocking enough, when she finds out that Anakoji was spying on her, seeing how she actually is as a person, she decides to threaten Anakoji, saying how if he reveals who she actually is as a person, she is going to tell everyone at the school that he did something horrible to her. And it's a very messed up thing to do, making a false accusation towards someone when they have done nothing to you at all, which just goes to show you just how far Kushida is willing to go to make sure that her true personality isn't shown. And yeah, like I said, this whole scene was just shocking. Apart from just the whole thing about Kushida's true personality, just what she was threatening Anakoji with to make sure that he didn't say this to anybody, or else of course he was going to throw this false accusation towards him and tell it to the school, just shows how twisted Kushida is. And at that point I kind of realized that this series was going to have a lot of moments like this where you should expect the unexpected. And I think for a lot of people this was something that was shocking, because we got to see Kushida's true personality and the fact that Kushida isn't this nice character like we all thought she was going to be. In fact, in reality, she's just this twisted person that just puts this nice persona just for the sake of people not finding out who she actually is as a person. And that's why Kushida's true personality comes in at number 5. Coming in number 4 is Arisu knowing about Anakoji's past. So Anakoji is obviously a character that we will find out eventually is not somebody who's completely normal. He didn't have a normal childhood. In fact, ever since he was a child, he was always in this place called the White Room. So because of this, he managed to find a way to escape this White Room and go to the Advanced Nurturing High School. And that's how he pretty much was confident that because of this, no one was ever going to find out who he actually was, and no one was going to find out that he was somebody that was in a place called the White Room. Well, that was until volume 5, towards the end of the volume, when he is talking to Sakinagi. Now, at first, Anakoji had no idea who Sakinagi was, because this is probably like the first time he's ever interacted with this character. So when she asked to meet with him, he was kind of confused because he's never interacted with this person, and this was probably like the first time him talking to this person, because, well, this is somebody that not a lot of people have a chance to talk to, but he probably thought this was not going to be something serious or something too important, so he decided to talk to Sakinagi because why not? So Sakinagi, when he's talking to him, decides to say how it's been a long time since she's seen Anakoji and how they finally get to meet each other once again. Of course, Anakoji is confused by all this because he has no idea who Sakinagi is, and he remembers very clearly that he has never met or talked to Sakinagi in the past. So because of this, he doesn't really see any point in staying any longer, and he's about to leave. But just as he's about to leave, Sakinagi just says 2 words: White Room. And at that point, Anakoji stopped and started turning towards her, all surprised. Like, this was something that Anakoji was not expecting. Like, you could just tell based on what you were reading that he was shocked that somebody knew about the White Room, that somebody else apart from him knew about the White Room. He had no idea that someone in the school knew about the White Room. However, despite Anakoji being shocked, it seems that Sakinagi isn't bothered by it. It seems that she was expecting that kind of reaction from him, because now it seems that she's even more excited because now he is finally paying attention to her. And overall, that whole scene was just shocking because I really wasn't expecting someone else apart from Anakoji to find out about the White Room. Of course, now that I am up to date with the series, I now know how she did eventually find out about Anakoji being in the White Room, but at that point I had no idea there was another person that knew about Anakoji's past and knew about this place called the White Room. So really it was a big shocking moment for me, and not just for me but for also Anakoji as well, because of course he was not expecting this to actually happen. He was not expecting someone to find out about the White Room. So that is why this moment belongs in the number 4 spot. And I really do hope that they adapt this scene in season 2. I know that some people have mentioned how it was completely cut. I'm kind of optimistic. Hopefully they do bring this scene, which I'm hoping, because this scene is really important. But not only that, but it's also a very shocking moment in Classroom the Elite as well. And coming in number 3, this is something that's not shown in the anime as of yet. This is most likely going to be a scene that's going to be shown in season 3. I mean, they showed it in the trailer, but if you don't want to get spoiled, then skip this part. If not, just continue on. And coming in number 3 is the introduction to Tokihiro. Now, Tokihiro is a very interesting character because he comes later on, I believe in volume 10. This is where we get to see Tokihiro, and he's the new director for the school. And you may be thinking to yourself, okay, what's so special about this guy? Well, we'll get to there. So this happens towards the end of volume 10. This is after the special exam, and this is when Anakoji and Sakinagi are talking alone once again. And then this is when Tokihiro comes in out of nowhere, which surprises Sakinagi and Anakoji because there's no one supposed to be here and just supposed to be the two of them. But at first, Tokihiro pretends to be all lost, saying that he has no idea where to go because he's a new acting director and he's looking for the school. However, Sakinagi points out that the school is in the other direction, so she even finds it hard to believe that someone could get lost when the school is in the other direction. And that's when Tokihiro reveals who he actually is as a person, and he decides to do something that I really wasn't expecting and really just came out of nowhere. He kicks Sakinagi's cane, and let me remind you, Sakinagi is disabled. She needs her cane to be able to stand. If not, she is going to fall very easily. And of course, Anakoji, seeing this, decides to help Sakinagi because Anakoji is not that bad of a person, so he wasn't going to let Sakinagi fall just like that, and decides to help her. But at that moment, Tokihiro decides to take advantage of that and hits Anakoji, and Anakoji has to take the blow because he's too busy trying to help Sakinagi. And that's when Tokihiro just comes in and pins Anakoji to the wall and grabs Anakoji by the neck and starts choking him. And I was just so shocked and confused because that whole event just came out of nowhere. Like, it was just simply a conversation between Sakinagi and Anakoji, and out of nowhere this new guy shows up and just starts hitting Anakoji. And because Anakoji doesn't want to reveal his true strength, and because this is the acting director, so he doesn't want to do anything that will cause him, being expelled, he doesn't do anything and just lets it all happen. And this is where we get the reveal that Tokihiro is actually working with Anakoji's father to get Anakoji expelled, and the only reason why he's at this school is because he wants to make sure Anakoji gets expelled. So not only did this whole event happen, but we get the reveal that somebody is actually working for Anakoji's father, because Anakoji's father is the person responsible for the White Room, and he wants Anakoji back in the White Room because, of course, this is somebody that he sees as the perfect human being. And of course, because Anakoji escaped, now he wants him to return to the White Room because according to Anakoji's father, he doesn't belong in the high school, he actually belongs in the White Room. So that's why this scene belongs in number 3. And coming in number 2 is probably the most infamous scene in Classroom the Elite. I think anybody who has read the series knows that this scene is probably the one that a lot of people were shocked, and probably the most insane scene to happen in Classroom the Elite. And that is the infamous spread your leg scene, the whole confrontation between Anakoji and Kei Karizawa. Now, anime onlys have already seen this scene in season 2. It was in episode 3. However, one thing that they may not know is that it was actually more insane in the light novels. Of course, in the anime they did have to tone down a few things, but I still think that they did adapt the scene very well. However, in the light novel, it was actually more insane. So in the light novel version, Anakoji of course confronts Kei after she's being bullied by Manabe and her group. Kei is crying, but Anakoji of course starts saying how could Kei let this happen, how is she this weak. And of course Kei starts to become angry and starts to become more frustrated because of course Anakoji is telling her all this. So Anakoji begins by pretty much forcing her to stand up. Of course Kei is surprised just how strong he is, and Anakoji does make her stand up forcefully and pins her to the wall. And this is where Anakoji starts telling Kei that she is a parasite, that she needs to rely on others to help her no matter what, and that she can't do anything by herself. And this is where Kei tries to ignore Anakoji, trying to look away, but Anakoji forces her to look at him in the eye forcefully. Like, Kei has no choice but to look at him because he's forcing her to look straight at his eyes. Even though she wants to not look at him, he is forcing her to look at him no matter what. But as he's doing all this, Kei asks Anakoji if all he wants is her body, to which Anakoji says that that's not a bad idea. And of course, we get the infamous line, spread your legs. And this is where Kei slowly starts to spread her legs, and Anakoji goes even further by actually touching her thigh, saying how this is actually really smooth and that he's never felt smooth skin before, and how it's actually more smoother than his skin. And just as you thought that this scene couldn't get even more insane and more shocking, Anakoji actually pretends to unbuckle his belt, almost as if he was trying to tell Kei that he's actually going to do it, to which Kei just simply closes her eyes and embraces what's about to happen. Now of course nothing happens, and this was just Anakoji's way to see how far Kei would go, but still this scene is pretty insane, probably the most insane scene to happen in Class of the Elite. And the first time reading it, I was just in shock what Anakoji was doing, but not only that, just how far Kei was willing to go to make sure her secret of her being bullied never got exposed. Because the only reason why she did all this was because Anakoji knew about her past. She knew that she was always getting bullied. He knew everything about her past and all the dark secrets that she had. So of course she did all this just so that Anakoji didn't expose this to other people. So that's why this moment belongs in number 2. And coming in number 1, this is probably the most iconic moment in Class of the Elite. It may not be as shocking to some people as the other two that I mentioned, but this is still a moment that really just shocked me when it was revealed as to what Anakoji thinks of people and how he actually feels towards other people. And this is the most iconic scene of Clash of the Elite, and this is all people are nothing but tools. Pretty much this happened towards the end of the season 1, but this happened in volume 3 of the light novel. Anakoji reveals that he sees people as nothing but tools, that the only reason why he's ever going to use someone is only for his own benefits. He doesn't believe in allies or friends, because as long as he wins, that's all that matters, and it doesn't matter what sacrifices or what needs to be done in order to win. As long as he wins, he doesn't care. He's willing to do anything to just simply win. It was at this scene that made me realize that Anakoji was somebody that just simply wanted to win no matter what. Like, it only mattered to him that he was the only one that benefited. He didn't care about other people. He didn't care about other people's feelings or stuff like that, because at the end of the day, he views people as nothing but tools. And of course, eventually as the series goes on, he does start to change a little bit. Like, he does view some people as people he does care about and he's connected to, but the majority of other people, yeah, he still sees them as tools and only people that are used to benefit him. We had no idea who really was Anakoji. Like, we did know that he was just somebody who doesn't express his feelings a whole lot, and we don't really know what's actually going on in his head. But after this moment, we actually got to see a little bit as to what kind of person Anakoji is. Sure, this didn't reveal a whole lot about his character, because that will be later on in the series, but it did show us how he views people and how he thinks of people as only tools, which I think it was a really cool scene and also a very interesting scene, because we never really get these kind of characters a whole lot. We usually get the protagonists that are always good and want to do everything good for the sake of other people or have good heart or a good spirit, but Anakoji is not like that. He only does things that benefits him, and at the end of the day, as long as he wins, like he says, that's all that matters. So that's why this scene is not only iconic but also a very, very good shocking moment of Clash of the Elite. And that's pretty much the entire video. Just wanted to talk about the 5 most shocking moments that I think happened in Clash of the Elite. Of course, there are many other scenes that many people can view as shocking as well, but this is just my list, and hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.